Okay everyone, we verified you can use 4 methods to play Counter-Strike 2 on your Mac, and each has its advantages over the others, which we'll outline in this video. We recommend watching everything even if you know what you want to use, because we'll also add in some useful tips how to get the best out of every method. But first, we need to get something important out of the way. Why would anyone prefer cloud gaming over local play? Ease of use, convenience, and the ability to play on weaker machines are all valid factors. But there's one additional reason when talking about Counter-Strike 2 specifically. Local methods like crossover and Whisky are quite janky when used for CS2. Think glitchy mouse movements, occasional crashes, audio issues, and other similar problems that have been around for years and haven't been fixed as of yet. Later, I will provide instructions on how to resolve most of these manually, but I can't guarantee the suggested fixes will always be effective. That's mainly why we lean towards cloud solutions when we want to play this Valve classic on our Macs. Now, let's talk specifics. So is cloud gaming with Boosteroid even worth it, or is it just a laggy mess? In my experience, services like Boosteroid are perfectly fine for playing Counter-Strike 2, provided your internet connection isn't total trash. Obviously, cloud platforms in general aren't ideal for competitive gaming, as there's always going to be some minimal delay, but for casual users, perfectly fine. As for the visual quality of the stream, Boosteroid is actually ahead of the curve here, as it offers both the cheapest and least bandwidth heavy way to stream your games at 4K and 120 FPS. It's a pretty good package all things considered, so it's one of the methods we recommend the most. Using Boosteroid is super simple. Follow the respective link in the description and register on the Boosteroid site within your browser. You can even use your Google account. Then you'll need to get a paid subscription, but I first recommend checking your internet connection to the closest Boosteroid server. This will give you a good idea of what streaming quality to expect and if this service will work well for you. Decided you want to give it a try? Then go to your profile and click the subscribe button to begin your subscription to Boosteroid. Then simply find the game in the search bar and launch it. Boosteroid is currently the only cloud streaming service that supports the AV1 codec as a feature, which is incredibly useful because it uses up to 50% less bandwidth than older formats. This effectively lowers the internet speed requirements while streaming with Boosteroid through your browser, which means that even if you've got a weak connection, you'll still get a smooth stream and crisp image quality, or you can just bring the image quality up if you've got good internet. Most of what we said about Boosteroid applies here too. It's an easy, reliable way to casually play Counter-Strike 2 on your Mac. The bandwidth demands here are a bit higher, but nothing your regular internet connection can't handle. In my tests, there was virtually no difference in the streaming quality between Boosteroid and GFN, both at 1080p and 4K. Choosing between the two will usually boil down to personal preference and what other games you want to play, since not all Boosteroid titles are on GFN and vice versa. Setting up GeForce Now is also easy. Follow the link in the description, click the Join Now button, pick a plan, and begin your subscription. Then get the GFN app from the download section, log in, and first go to its settings. On the right, find the respective game store, click Connect, and enter your logins to link your game store profile to the app. Then return to the Games section, look for Counter-Strike 2, and launch it. GFN will run a quick internet check after which the game will start. If the connection test warns you of weak internet, you can still start the game, but you should know the streaming quality may not be great. In such cases, I recommend tinkering with the connection settings in the app to lower the bandwidth demands and possibly improve the stream smoothness. Out of the local play solutions, Crossover's the best one, but this doesn't mean it's without any flaws. On my tests using an M2 Max MacBook Pro, the game ran between 60 and 120 FPS on medium settings and stayed around 60 to 80 on high. Weaker Macs though? The game will still be playable on something like an M2 Pro MacBook with 16 gigs, but anything lower than that and you are watching a slideshow. Also, expect a bunch of issues that need extra fixing, which makes the setup of this method rather frustrating. Still, if you've got a powerful enough machine and some spare time, Crossover can be a valid solution, so here's how to get it going. Follow the respective link below, register, and either purchase the app or go for its 14-day free trial, which is what I recommend. After Crossover downloads, launch it, install the app, and create a new bottle from the bottle menu. Then go to Install, find Steam, and install it in the new bottle. Steam will start automatically, so close it, enable D3D Metal and eSync, and then start Steam again. But before you actually start playing, I need to quickly talk about some optimizations that will make playing this game through Crossover smoother and more stable. These fixes can make a huge difference in your gaming experience, so don't skip them. First, some Steam settings adjustments. Open Steam in Crossover, go to the top left, click Steam, then Settings, then Interface. Turn off smooth scrolling, GPU accelerated rendering, and hardware video decoding. Then go into the Library tab and turn on low performance mode. Also, visit the in-game tab to disable the Steam overlay. Next, go to the game in your library, click the little gear icon, go to Properties, and paste these in the Launch Options field. Another thing I strongly recommend is to open the Crossover Task Manager, go to File, New Task, and type regedit. Hit Enter, then go to this path. Right-click and create a new string value called Video Memory Size. Double-click the new value and set it based on your max RAM. 2048 if you've got 8 GB of RAM, 4096 for 16 GB, and 16,384 if you're running 32 gigs or more. This helps Wine figure out how much video memory to allocate, and yes, it does help with stability. Finally, when you are about to start the game, don't start it from Steam, but instead go back to Crossover and launch the game directly from there. Once it starts, hop into a bot match and just play for a few rounds. This helps CS2 cache the shaders it needs so the next time you play, things run a lot smoother. One last thing before we move on. Your in-game graphics settings. Don't just set everything to low. CS2 actually runs worse like that on Crossover. Here's a better balance. Set the textures to medium, MSAA to 4 times, shadows to medium, particles low, ambient occlusion to medium, and shaders to high. Set upscaling to balanced, counterintuitive, but it usually works better than turning it off entirely. Also, I recommend using a resolution like 1280 by 960 stretched and leaving the game in windowed mode to avoid those UI glitches. And don't forget to cap your FPS to your monitor's refresh rate. It'll help with frame pacing and make the whole thing feel smoother. Whisky is Crossover's free but jankier cousin. It technically works on the same principle as Crossover, but it's no longer supported by its dev and it's prone to encountering even more bugs and errors. Honestly, its sole draw is its $0 price tag, but everything else about it is just worse. You can give it a try if you want, but be warned that the hassle to get it to work with Counter-Strike 2 may not be worth the money you saved. I simply cannot fit in this video all fixes, workarounds, and stopgap solutions that different users may need to apply to get Counter-Strike 2 running in Whisky. That's the thing about this method. The results you get can vary greatly depending on a ton of factors, and I simply cannot account for all of them. Therefore, I'll just show you the general way to set up Whisky and install games in it. For a more detailed discussion on the do's and don'ts in Whisky, check the article link in the video description. The Whisky method is a bit more finicky, but the plus here is that it's totally free. You must first download the latest version of the Whisky app from the provided link below and extract the zip file in your applications folder. Then you must create a new bottle with Windows 10 or 11 compatibility. Then download an older version of Steam for Windows by clicking the respective link in the description. That's the version you need. In Whisky, click Run, find and open the Steam installer and install Steam in the Whisky bottle. Once Steam is installed, launch it, find the game, download it, and click play. So that's it for today's video. For more content on Mac gaming, be sure to check our channel. Till next time.